Dabo, we'll start off. You talked a little bit about it there, but what's it mean to hear the stuff you did, and they letting you sit behind that desk here in a little bit?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the MacArthur Bowl, and I didn't know the history of it until the first time we won the national championship. And just watching that video again, it's pretty amazing. And then, the MacArthur Bowl represents history and college football and the best of the best. So to be associated with that is just really cool and an honor. So thankful to be a part of it today, and then to have a chance to, I guess, go and sit at General MacArthur's desk. That's not something I ever envisioned happen. So that'll be a neat experience.
Coach, you mentioned, moving forward, but again, you guys are pausing to, commemorate what you guys did last year. As you go into 2019, I guess, how much of last year do you kind of take, into this year, given that you guys are defending national champions and target on your back once again?
Well, not really, to be honest with you. I mean, we go back and we study everything and self-evaluate, but it's a different team. The things that we were really good at last year from a quality control standpoint, well, a lot of those people aren't back. So you can't count on anything. You've got to put the work in, and you've got to assess this team. And every team is, like I said, has its own journey, its own story, its own challenges. And so I'm excited about this team. It's a lot of fun. There was a ton of enthusiasm on our practice field this spring. You would never know that we were coming off a national championship. There's a lot of people sad to see all that unbelievable amount of seniors gone, but there's a lot of people in my locker room happy to see them gone because now it's opportunity for them to get a chance to play. And so there's a lot of competition on the practice field, and I think those led to some really good practices and some really good growth over the 15 days. And I think our spring game was very competitive, and guys, we finish in exit meetings now, and guys have a good understanding of what they got to do to come back August better. But it's everybody's back at the bottom of the mountain. You don't get to start on second base, as I like to say. You gotta go prove it all over again, and that's the fun part.
Dabo, I noticed on those rings you gave the players and you put best ever. It's a pretty audacious thing to say. Do you think you guys have a claim that team was the best team ever of all time?
How many teams have been 15?
Well, no, I mean, it's a good argument.
I mean, they won 13 games by 20 plus. They went 15-0. They beat Notre Dame and Alabama, two undefeated teams. First two undefeated win in the playoff. Yeah. So that was something that the guys kind of, they wanted to. They had 55 wins, so they did things that had never been done, and at Clemson and even in college football. So. Do they have a claim? Absolutely. I mean, can somebody debate it? Sure, that's what makes the world go around. Everybody's got their own opinions, but I like to tell everybody, in my opinion, they're the best ever so far. So, it's that's a good standard set by those guys. And like I said, it's not just that they won; it's how they won. Highest team GPA in Clemson history, most 3.0s in Clemson history. The Campbell Trophy, the Bowden Award. Just an unbelievable group of men. All the graduates that we had the most graduates of any team in the bowls. So just really cool season and team to be a part of. But they were focused and driven to do what they did. So, most people talked all year about Alabama, the best team that they had, and there was a lot of conversation, and Clemson really wasn't in that conversation. But when it was all said and done, I don't think our team left any doubt who was the best team. And so whether they're the best ever, people will debate that forever. That's Jordan, LeBron, right? I got my opinion, but it's they certainly did their part in creating conversation.
Coach, you talked about a lot of the guys leaving, and you guys are headed to the draft. Just talk about maybe how you guys, kind of project and how they can make an impact in a locker room coming from a championship-winning program.
Well, these are great men. First of all, I mean, they know what it takes. They know how to work. They're graduates and just high achievers. This group's won 55 games in 4 years. They've played at the highest level of college football, and they've played well. So I think they're well prepared. Hopefully, we'll have at least 3 first-rounders tomorrow. I can't imagine that we wouldn't. And then I think Trayvon will be right there kind of next to be one of the early guys. But I think we'll probably have maybe 10 guys drafted. I'll be kind of surprised if we don't. But I think we'll have maybe 14 to 16 that will get into camp, either through the draft or free agency. So I'm excited about this group. That's pretty amazing for us to be able to say you're going to have 14, 16 guys get a chance to go achieve a dream that are graduates. And, a lot of our free agents have made it. I mean, you look at a guy like Adam Humphries. I mean, he makes $9 million a year. He's an undrafted free agent. Jerron Brown. We got a lot of those guys. Tyler Shatley's on year 6 with the Jaguars. So there's a reason why our guys are sticking. And I think it's the culture that they're coming from. It's the preparedness that they've gotten. And, I hope our guys all get an opportunity. And again, just because you get drafted don't mean you're going to make it. You've got to start over and put the work in. And I think our guys are well prepared to go compete at that level.
Yeah, but there's a report came out last night about Tavian and him thinking about maybe transferring. What can you tell us about that? Is that something there or what?
I don't have any confirmation on that. I think it's something maybe he's thinking about, but I don't. There's nothing definitive on that. I certainly hope he doesn't, but that's up to him.
You tend to, throughout the summer, show up at different sporting events and baseball games, derby. What's on your agenda this summer?
Yeah, I'm excited because it's kind of something that has evolved with my oldest 2 sons.
Yeah.
And I'm just really glad that they still think I'm cool enough to want to hang out with. So as long as they want to do that, I'm gonna follow up. So yeah, we've got that coming up. We're kind of waiting to see what happens with some of these NBA games and who's in. And so we usually like to go and visit some NFL teams and catch a couple major league games and a couple of NBA games. And we usually do it. We got a little window in May that we like to go do that and just spend time together. Do some fun stuff, tour around, and so I'm excited about that time. And so definitely, I don't really know where I'm going to be yet because they kind of plan that, but I know I'm going to be somewhere, and I always look forward to that.
Do you have a sports bucket list? A
Yeah,
list of things that you
absolutely.
want to go see?
Absolutely, and I achieved one of them this year. I got to go to All-Star Weekend up in Charlotte. That was amazing. It was awesome. I want to go to a Final Four. I haven't done that. I want to go back to the Derby. I got to do the Derby one time three years ago, I think. And so I've got a lot of things that I want to be able to do when it comes to sports that I haven't been able to do yet.
You mentioned the Final Four. Tony Bennett, after the championship game, had mentioned specifically that you sent him a text before the game. Is that just a relationship you have from the ACC, or are you guys close like that? Or?
Yeah, just really, we just met through our ACC meetings. In fact, I'm getting ready to see him here in a couple of weeks. We go to our spring meetings, and so I just got to meet him through that several years ago, and we just have kind of hit it off, and got a lot in common. And I had a chance to visit with him a little bit when he came to Clemson this year, and he's just a good guy, man. He's one of the great people in sports, and I think he loves his players. I think he does things in such a great way, and represents everything with such class. And I reached out to him because I actually called him the Sunday before because I just was kind of on my heart that just to reach out to him, and I felt like they were going to win it, and I think part of the reason is because he failed miserably so well. If that makes sense, how he used a very disappointing moment to teach and to grow and to not be defined by that. I just love that, and to see them come back and to have the type of season. Those guys, that team, they will carry that for the rest of their lives. The lessons that they